Alright guys, in this video we're back for yet some more, not necessarily strange, but some unusual wildlife observations. And we're going to start in Bryant, Arkansas, which is right here. The viewer was looking to the southwest. What she thought she was looking at were, and this was just a couple of days ago, what she thought she was looking at were airplanes flying from the southwest, high in the sky, to the northeast. Bryant, Arkansas is right here, towards the center of the state. You're looking at, this is the beginning of the video. This is what she saw from the ground, and this is the original segment of the video. And you can see, I'm sorry, the original beginning segment of the video. This is before she zoomed in, and then in the video, I edit and zoom in very, very tight so we can kind of get a closer look at whatever these things are. When she first saw them, she thought they were airplanes. And the reason she started recording is because they were flying so close together for airplanes. And in the video, it does look like, at first, from this distance, white airplanes. But you'll see that they're not. So I'm going to play the video. You can hear her say at the beginning, her name's Renee from Arkansas, that she thought it was unusual that airplanes were flying this close together. So let me play that video clip for you here real quick.
You ever seen two planes side by side like that? Besides the military? Weird. They don't look like regular, they're not putting off any kind of a contrail or anything, and they just...
Okay, I'm going to pause it right there. I just wanted you to hear the viewer firsthand, as she thought she was legitimately looking at airplanes. We are zoomed in quite a bit right here, without compromising too much, as far as pixelation goes. I'm zoomed in as far as I could go. So at this vantage point, this is not what she saw. This is what she's still seeing. This right here. Okay, I'm zoomed in now so that we can obviously tell that this is some sort of a giant white bird. But over central Arkansas, I didn't find any type of species related to that area. This is not her perspective right now. This is. So she's thinking that she's looking at airplanes and puzzled as to why they're so close together. We're zoomed in right now as far as I can go, and we can tell that these are in fact birds. But what kind of bird would be this big at this altitude? What do you guess? A couple thousand feet? Probably. That would be where a Cessna flies. I don't think that's necessarily commercial airline cruising altitude, but I would say that's at minimum a couple thousand feet. And I'm asking you guys, this is the way it was sent to me. And not only did I get this one, I received one of these about 2 or 3 weeks ago from a young lady that had just enough time to take a video of that. And when she took the video, the wings were down. It was propelling forward in the sky at about 2,000 feet in the atmosphere. And again, from the ground, it looked like some sort of an airplane. But when you zoom in, you can see that it was a bird exactly like this. So I don't know, what do we have here? You tell me. I've got some other wildlife things to share with you guys, but this is the second video that I've got with regards to a giant white bird. And I don't know what we're dealing with here. I've Googled swans and even came up with a bird from, let's see, I think it was Antarctica. Very large white bird from Antarctica. I don't think it would be this far north, but it did kind of fit this description. But that's several thousand miles away. But I wanted to show you at the end of the video, I took these still images, some of the best still images that was like right there. Look at that. You can see the wings are moving, and it looks like almost like a stealth airplane, but white. Very large, incredible, almost angelic-like white bird. Just huge. You can see the wings moving here. You can clearly see the wings slowly move up and down. See that? See the wings move up and down very slowly. Now they're down. There they're mid. There they're up, down. That is huge. She honestly thought she was seeing airplanes. But I took some of the still images and did some contrast adjustments. There I zoomed in. You can tell that that's definitely a bird. This is in negative format just to try to get an outline of maybe what the body features were. There's with the wing position up. There's another look at it. That's just in some sort of a, like the light adjusted. There they are together, kind of tilted to the left, just gliding. There's a close-up of the bird on the right, just a bright white bird. This is negative format once again. And that let's see, what did I do there? I just adjusted the brightness. Now this is a format that takes away a lot of the light, and you can see just an outline of, you see the wings clearly flapping there from frame to frame. But I don't know, it's difficult to tell. It's huge. Don't know. There you can kind of see a point. Yeah, maybe not. It's just difficult to tell, guys. I don't know. It's some sort of a giant white bird. I bring it up because this is the second video I've got in 3 weeks of giant white birds. So, kind of cool. Don't know what we're dealing with here. But when they're mistaken for airplanes from the ground, initially in the very beginning and then throughout the entire video, until I zoomed in and I told her that what we were looking at here were birds, she was actually quite surprised. So, again, giant white birds in this video from Bryant, Arkansas, traveling from the southwest to the northeast. Not exactly sure what type of bird that is, but nevertheless kind of cool. Here's another unusual sighting of a bird. This time we're over in Queens, New York.
In video here, looks like some kind of a bird. Hawk, maybe. It's a very strange location here. Very busy neighborhood.
His observation of this hawk was in Queens, New York. Obviously a lifelong resident here, never seen a hawk perched on top of a building in a very busy neighborhood. It caught his attention. He took a video of it. About a minute long here. It doesn't move. It just stays right there. It's just kind of watching people and the traffic. But very much out of its element, you know. Not necessarily going to find food here, I wouldn't think. So I agree completely. That bird definitely looks out of its element. Here's a still shot of it here, and you can tell that is a very large hawk of some sort. Once again from Queens, New York, and that was sent in by Chris. Thank you, Chris. This here's of a moose walking in a gentleman's backyard in Ontario, Canada. This was sent in by John. Picture 1 and picture 2 as he casually strolls into the backyard of their home. We've seen a lot of pictures of moose here in the last few months. This is from Tampa, Florida, sent in by Ellie of a sandhill crane in a parking lot at a shopping plaza. Very much disoriented and out of place. This was sent in by Dan from Tustin, California. This is an egret. Almost looks like the white bird, but this bird here has a much longer neck than what we're dealing with. And I think the picture of this bird here, which they look like planes there, they have incredible wingspans. You got to keep in mind, those are a couple of thousand feet in the air. And they look like planes. But this bird here was a very long ways away from water, and that's why he took the picture and made the observation as unusual, because there was no water source near this bird's location in Tustin, California. And typically, these birds feed off of, if I'm not mistaken, small fish. So typically, birds, creatures in general, like to stay near their food source. That's why armadillos were moving from Texas into Tennessee, parts of southern Illinois and Missouri. They were following their food. This little guy doesn't seem to be following his food. So he took the picture because it just looked completely out of place. And this last picture is definitely a strange one. This is from Manchester, Missouri, sent in by Melissa on June 28th. And you can see this is in town, and that's kind of an unusual place for a deer to be in town anyway, walking through the streets. But not only is it a deer, it's an albino deer in Manchester, Missouri. Very strange. So we've got big, white, unidentifiable birds flying in the sky. This is identifiable. It's a white albino deer. Very crazy. I don't think I've ever seen an albino deer. But there's one right there. Thank you, Melissa. Thank you, Chris. Thank you, Renee, Dan. Who else sent in? I've got more pictures to get through, guys. Slowly but surely I'm getting to them. So I want to thank you now, and I'll thank you again when I get to the emails. Thank you, Ellie and John, everybody that sent in pictures and video. Greatly appreciate it. More unusual wildlife observations. Albino deer, moose in the backyard, hawk in a very densely populated area. Not going to find food there. So that was a good observation as well. And if you guys happen to know what kind of birds these may have been flying over central Arkansas, just a couple of days ago, around July 1st, flying from south to north, southwest to northeast. Looks like they have an incredible wingspan. Once again, this is the original perspective where the viewer thought they were looking at airplanes. They were that big. Thanks for watching, guys. Have a super day and be safe out there.